Morning, everybody. It is 6:13 a.m., 14 February, Wednesday, the day of St. Valentine's. So I got you guys flowers because I love you guys. I hope you like them. They're yellow roses because I love you guys like friends, okay? A couple of y'all are pretty cute. Top, I got a thing for you. Jerome, you're pretty cute too. So I got you chocolates as well. But the rest of y'all were just friends, okay? There's only so much of me to go around. Listen, it's early. It's 6:14. Usually I'm drinking coffee in the truck by this time. Shut up, wiper blades. But I wanted to get this out pretty quick. It's on the top of my mind. I saw a video yesterday, Pastor Joe Fox on his Patreon channel talking about establishing a way station or an aid station, and how his Papa Bear during the Vietnam conflict was in places other than Vietnam, and they may or may not have done several things, working for a particular alphabet soup agency, establishing waypoints and aid stations. And interestingly enough, I saw the question posed last night in the DD12 group on Facebook about establishing way stations. Would you do it? Should you do it? From a preparedness standpoint, would you do it? I have some strong opinions on this, so I'm going to try and be as polite as I can about it. But bear in mind, this is usually my coffee drinking time, not my talking to y'all time. But we'll see what happens. Get out of my way, car. All right, number one, you cannot render aid unless you yourself are in a good position, right? You can't take care of anybody else unless you are squared away. So you have to achieve a high level of preparedness and organization in order to be able to render aid to outsiders in the first place. If you and I are both shot and we both have critical injuries, I have to take care of me first before I can take care of you. I cannot render aid to you if I'm not squared away, right? If I die, I can't be of any help to you. Likewise, in preparedness, if I don't have everything I need and more, how am I supposed to assist others, right? It's a losing equation. If I need a year's worth of food for a family of 5 and 5 more people show up and we feed them, now we only have a half a year's worth of food, hypothetically speaking, right? So, number one, you have to have a high level of personal preparedness and organization to create, even think about creating a way station or an aid station. Number two, I think it's a good idea emotionally and spiritually to try and create a place that will be useful to others in a time of dire need. I do think that morally and ethically, it's a very good thing to be thinking that way. I also think that in actuality, here in our third dimension physical realm, it makes you a target. There was some discussion in this group yesterday as to how would you designate a site to let other people know that this was a resupply site or a way station, checkpoint, whatever. Tie a ribbon around a tree, paint a fence post this color, or whatever. The problem with that is, I believe, when this end stage decadent empire collapses, the resources will be much harder to extract from our environment, and therefore, there will be many, many people that rather than extracting their own resources will be taking from others, right? Remember, we're going back to an agrarian society with a strong warrior class, historically speaking. Do I know that for sure here? No, but it's happened every other time in the history of civilization that we know of. So I can only imagine that it would happen again here. So it makes you a target because somebody's going to try and come and take your stuff. So if you're going to have a way station, again, getting back to a high level of preparedness and organization, you're going to need a way to defend that way station. Whether that's, you have several dozen members of your tribe and your community that are on rotating patrols. Everybody has duty, 3 days a week for 12 hours a day or whatever, right? So you're going to need to get that squared away. You're going to need to have a way to actually protect what you have. Now, it may not be an open show of force. It may be that it's so well hidden that nobody knows that it's there, right? There's more than one way to skin that cat, but you need to have it. You need to understand that it's a valuable target. It's a high-value target for people with nefarious means, right? So you need to have a way to protect it. And then, I guess lastly, third, my potentially largest issue with this is a lot of people are very ungrateful. And a lot of people feel entitled to things that aren't theirs. And I can imagine scenarios where it wouldn't take much time for... what am I trying to say? It wouldn't take much time for a group of people to dwindle your supplies that you set by in good faith with good intentions to be of assistance, critical assistance to people. And to just basically have scumbags using up your stuff that you traded portions of your life that you'll never get back again. It's gone. And maybe you just don't know, right? I mean, you don't know who it is that you're helping. You don't know if they're going to be any help to you or not. You don't know if they're going to tell the next guy, walking up the road from a mile away, hey, go up here, talk to these people. They got a whole room full of stuff that they're just giving away to people like us. And that guy is in turn a scumbag, and he's got a dozen of his buddies, and they come in force. And now you have nothing because you're all dead. There's just a lot of exposure there. I think, physically and emotionally and spiritually, there's room for wounding there. And that's probably the part that would worry me the most is, I think most preppers get to the point where they have extra gear, they have extra stuff, and you could easily put together a spare bag for somebody just on the urging that somebody might need it. I mean, I've done that for guys at my shop, just riding around in this truck going to and from Dallas for work. It occurred to me one day that it'd be really messed up if something happened and I had my rucksack and my load out and I'm going home, but the guys that are with me don't. So there is a certain level of personal responsibility that's required here, that if you're worried about dying, you should take steps to not die, right? But I also had enough stuff to put together a basic kit and throw it in a pack and throw that in the truck that if I am with somebody, I have another truck bag, right? So I understand the conviction, I get it, but for me, it's just that last issue of the possibility of betrayal really hits close to home for me. And there are people right now, I'm told, that are literally stocking up buckets upon buckets of food and first aid supplies and water filtration, all this for people they've never met, because they firmly believe that a time will come where the Holy Spirit will guide people who need it to that location. And I can't say that does or doesn't make sense. I don't know, because I am not convicted in that way, but it is entirely possible that I will be at some point. And it's entirely possible that I may end up needing whatever it is that those people are preparing now. A place prepared in the wilderness for you. I don't know. That's kind of hard to argue with, but those are my thoughts on establishing a way station. If you're going to do it, you need to make sure that it doesn't put yourself out. You need to make sure that you have a way to defend it because it will be a high value target. And you need to make sure that you're prepared emotionally and physically and spiritually and mentally for what it looks like to actually render aid at these stations. So hit me up. Let me know what you think, guys. That's my viewpoint. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day.